I first met Ozzy when I was about 18, the day he walked into my father's office. At that age, I had no idea how deeply that moment would shape my future. I only knew I was suddenly standing at the edge of a world filled with music, ambition, and unpredictable energy. It was exciting, intimidating, and strangely familiar all at once. Looking back now, that brief encounter planted seeds that would take years to grow. Life has a way of quietly setting things in motion long before we understand their meaning. What followed was not a fairy tale, but a journey marked by courage, sacrifice, and persistence. Sharon Osbourne's story is not simply about fame or success. It's about choosing love when it's inconvenient, standing firm when life feels overwhelming, and learning that strength is built slowly, through countless small decisions made in difficult moments. Childhood in the house of Arden Horn Rachel. Arden was born in London in 1952, into a home shaped by the music industry and strong personalities. Her father, Don Arden, was a powerful manager whose career brought both opportunity and intensity into their household. From a young age, Sharon learned that life did not always move gently. The atmosphere at home was driven by discipline and expectation, and emotional warmth was often overshadowed by business pressures. While many children grow up surrounded by comfort, Sharon grew up learning independence early. She observed negotiations, disagreements, and the realities of professional ambition, absorbing lessons most people don't encounter until adulthood. Those early years taught her how to stay alert, think strategically, and rely on her own instincts. Though the environment was demanding, it also helped shape her resilience, preparing her for a future that would require both toughness and compassion in equal measure. Learning strength at an early age. Sharon's childhood experiences taught her that strength doesn't arrive magically, it develops through challenge. She learned to listen carefully, read people closely, and protect her sense of self in environments that were often demanding. Even as a young girl, she understood that success required effort and emotional control. While others found comfort in routine, Sharon found hers in adaptability. She watched how power worked behind closed doors and learned that confidence often comes from preparation rather than bravado. These early lessons stayed with her, forming the backbone of her character. They helped her grow into someone who could remain calm during uncertainty and decisive under pressure. Though she carried quiet scars from growing up too fast, she also gained valuable tools: resilience, independence, and a deep understanding of human behavior. Those qualities would later guide her through some of life's most defining chapters. Stepping into adulthood. By the time Sharon reached adulthood, she was far from sheltered. She understood the realities of business, relationships, and responsibility in ways many people only grasp later in life. She carried both wisdom and caution with her, shaped by years of observation and experience. Sharon learned to trust her instincts and speak her mind, even when doing so felt uncomfortable. She knew that nothing meaningful comes without effort, and that personal growth often requires difficult choices. Though she had access to comfort and opportunity, she also carried emotional weight from her past. Still, she refused to let that define her limits. Instead, she focused on building her own path. Adulthood became a time of clarity when Sharon began shaping her identity beyond family expectations. She was learning not only who she was, but what she stood for, choosing love over expectations. In the late 1970s, Sharon faced a defining crossroads. She could have followed a predictable path within her father's professional world, but her heart led her elsewhere. Ozzy Osbourne entered her life at a time when he needed stability, belief, and direction. While others saw uncertainty, Sharon saw potential and humanity. Choosing Ozzy meant stepping away from familiar security and embracing a future that was far from guaranteed. It was not a dramatic gesture. It was a quiet commitment rooted in loyalty and compassion. Sharon chose partnership over comfort, believing that love deserved a chance to grow. That decision required courage, because it meant starting fresh and facing challenges together. It marked the beginning of a lifelong bond built on teamwork. Their relationship wasn't perfect, but it was real, grounded in shared determination and mutual respect. Building a life-together marriage in 1982 marked the start of a true partnership. Sharon became Ozzy's manager, advocate, and anchor, guiding both his career and their growing family. The early years demanded adaptability, long hours, and emotional patience. Sharon balanced professional responsibilities with personal care, ensuring that their household remained steady despite constant travel and pressure. She managed schedules, negotiations, and creative decisions while also nurturing family life. These were years of learning, growth, and persistence. Success didn't arrive overnight. It came through steady effort and belief in Ozzy's talent. Sharon approached every obstacle with practicality and heart, proving that leadership can be both firm and compassionate. Together, they built something lasting, not just in music, but in family. Their journey showed that partnership is about showing up daily, even when the road ahead feels uncertain. Reviving a career and creating opportunity. Through dedication and strategic thinking, Sharon helped guide Ozzy's solo career to new heights. Albums and tours reflected not just musical achievement, but countless hours of planning behind the scenes. Sharon handled contracts, logistics, and creative direction, allowing Ozzy to focus on performing. Later, she helped create Ozfest, a festival that gave emerging artists a platform while reconnecting fans with Ozzy's legacy. It wasn't just about business, it was about community and opportunity. Sharon believed in lifting others while building something meaningful. Every milestone was the result of teamwork, persistence, and vision. While audiences saw performances and applause, Sharon managed the complex details that made everything possible. Her work ethic and leadership helped shape a lasting impact on the music world, proving that success often comes from those who quietly guide things forward. Life in the public eye. When their family opened their doors to reality television, Sharon embraced honesty over perfection. Viewers saw humor, chaos, and everyday moments that felt relatable. What made their story resonate was its authenticity. Sharon never pretended life was flawless. Instead, she shared real conversations, real emotions, and real challenges. Fame brought visibility, but it also required boundaries and resilience. Sharon learned to protect her family while staying open with audiences. She used humor as armor and honesty as connection. Though cameras captured only parts of their lives, Sharon remained grounded in her priorities. She understood that public attention fades, but relationships last. Through it all, she stayed true to herself, showing that vulnerability and strength can exist side by side. Facing health challenges with courage. Health challenges became another chapter in Sharon's journey, one that tested both body and spirit. She approached recovery with determination, focusing on healing while staying present for her family. Rather than retreating, she chose openness, sharing her experiences to encourage others facing similar struggles. Sharon showed that asking for support is not weakness, and that resilience grows through community. Treatment brought difficult days, but she remained committed to staying hopeful. Her family became her greatest source of strength, reminding her why perseverance mattered. Sharon's approach was practical and brave. Take each day as it comes, trust the process, and keep moving forward. Her experience became a powerful reminder that life doesn't pause for challenges, but it does offer opportunities to grow stronger through them. Holding a family together, through busy schedules and personal hurdles, Sharon remained the emotional center of her household. She balanced care for her children with professional responsibilities, always striving to create stability. Parenthood taught her patience and perspective. She listened, guided, and supported, understanding that every family faces its own lessons. Sharon believed in accountability, compassion, and honest communication. She encouraged independence while offering reassurance, helping her children navigate adulthood in their own ways. Family life was not about perfection. It was about presence. Sharon showed up consistently, even when she felt tired or overwhelmed. Her commitment created a foundation of trust that carried them through difficult moments. For Sharon, success was never just about career milestones. It was about raising grounded individuals and keeping their family connected through every season of life. Reinvention through television. Sharon's transition into television opened a new chapter. As a judge and host, she brought warmth, clarity, and fairness to every role. Audiences connected with her directness and humor, appreciating her ability to offer constructive guidance without losing empathy. Television gave Sharon a platform to share her perspective and support new talent. She approached each opportunity with professionalism and authenticity, building a second career that stood on its own merit. Her presence felt genuine, shaped by real-life experience rather than performance alone. Sharon proved that reinvention is possible at any stage, and that personal growth doesn't end with one success. She embraced change with confidence, showing that evolving doesn't mean abandoning who you are. It means expanding it. Navigating public criticism. Public life also brought moments of scrutiny, reminding Sharon that visibility often invites opinion. She faced criticism with composure, choosing reflection over reaction. Rather than letting negativity define her, she leaned into self-awareness and growth. Sharon understood that public judgment can be fleeting, while personal integrity lasts. She used challenging moments as opportunities to reassess, learn, and move forward. Her response was never about proving others wrong. It was about staying aligned with her values. Through these experiences, Sharon reinforced an important truth. Resilience includes emotional intelligence. She remained grounded, supported by family and perspective, proving that strength isn't loud, it's steady. Her ability to rise above noise reflected years of inner work and self-belief. Making brave personal decisions. Sharon has never avoided difficult choices, especially when it comes to health and family. She approached preventive care thoughtfully, prioritizing long-term well-being over temporary comfort. By speaking openly about her decisions, she empowered others to take charge of their own health journeys. Sharon believed that knowledge creates strength and that sharing experiences can help others feel less alone. These moments of vulnerability revealed her courage and transparency. She didn't frame challenges as tragedies, but as responsibilities, opportunities to protect herself and those she loves. Her openness encouraged meaningful conversations about self-care, prevention, and advocacy. Sharon showed that bravery often appears in quiet decisions made with clarity and intention. Weathering relationship challenges. Like any long partnership, Sharon and Ozzy faced moments that required honesty and healing. Sharon approached these periods with patience, understanding that growth often comes through uncomfortable conversations. Rather than walking away, she chose communication and reflection. Their relationship evolved over time, shaped by shared history and mutual effort. Sharon believed that commitment means working through difficulties with respect. Forgiveness, for her, wasn't about forgetting. It was about rebuilding with intention. These experiences deepened her understanding of partnership and strengthened their bond. Sharon demonstrated that love is not static. It requires care, boundaries, and continuous choice. Through it all, she stayed grounded in empathy while honoring her own worth, supporting Ozzy through change. As time passed, Sharon's role naturally shifted toward caregiving and support. She stood beside Ozzy through physical changes and quieter seasons, offering steady encouragement. Their partnership matured into something deeply rooted in companionship. Sharon handled appointments, schedules, and daily needs with the same dedication she once applied to tours and contracts. She approached this stage with grace, understanding that love adapts as life evolves. Their connection was no longer just about stages and spotlight. It was about shared mornings, conversations, and presence. Sharon embraced this transition with humility, showing that true partnership shines brightest in ordinary moments. Her devotion reflected decades of shared experience and mutual respect. Honoring a lifetime of music, Sharon always understood how meaningful music was to Ozzy and to his fans. She helped organize moments that celebrated his legacy, ensuring every detail reflected gratitude and connection. These milestones were not just professional achievements, they were emotional markers of a life dedicated to creativity. Sharon honored that journey with care, making space for reflection and appreciation. She believed in celebrating effort as much as success. Through her planning and support, Ozzy was able to connect with audiences in meaningful ways. Sharon saw these moments as shared victories, shaped by years of collaboration. Music remained a bridge between past and present, reminding them both of everything they had built together. Finding purpose beyond fame. Over time, Sharon discovered that fulfillment comes from impact, not applause. She used her platform to support causes she cared about and to uplift voices that needed encouragement. Sharon valued authenticity over image, choosing substance over surface. She understood that influence carries responsibility, and she embraced that thoughtfully. Whether mentoring young talent or speaking openly about personal experiences, Sharon focused on connection. Her purpose expanded beyond career milestones into meaningful contribution. She showed that success evolves, becoming less about recognition and more about service. Through compassion and action, Sharon continued shaping a legacy rooted in empathy and growth. Reflecting on a life of resilience. Looking back, Sharon Osbourne's journey is defined by perseverance. From a demanding childhood to global recognition, she navigated every chapter with courage and clarity. She built a life grounded in love, accountability, and determination. Sharon faced uncertainty without losing herself, and she met change with adaptability. Her story is not about perfection, it's about persistence. Through every role she held, she remained deeply human, balancing ambition with compassion. Sharon's experiences remind us that strength is built through consistency, not grand gestures. She teaches that resilience is practiced daily, in choices both visible and unseen. Her life reflects the power of commitment, empathy, and staying true to your values. Lessons for the next generation. Sharon's journey offers lessons that reach far beyond fame. She shows that courage means making hard decisions with kindness, and that leadership begins with responsibility. Her openness encourages others to speak honestly about challenges and seek support when needed. Sharon demonstrates that success is not measured only by achievements, but by relationships nurtured along the way. She reminds us that growth never stops, and that reinvention is always possible. Through her story, we learn that love requires effort, resilience requires patience, and integrity requires consistency. These lessons continue to inspire people navigating their own paths, proving that real strength lives in everyday actions. A legacy of love and determination. Today, Sharon Osbourne stands as a symbol of perseverance, loyalty, and authenticity. Her legacy lives not only in music and television, but in the example she sets through courage and compassion. She teaches that scars are not signs of failure, they are evidence of survival. Sharon's life reflects the beauty of choosing love, even when it feels risky, and choosing hope, even when the future feels uncertain. Her journey reminds us that while life may challenge us, we always have the power to respond with grace. Through resilience, honesty, and devotion, Sharon continues to inspire, leaving behind a story that speaks to the strength of the human spirit.